Welcome back, Star Wars fans. I have a special treat for you as we slowly and painfully break away from the Star Wars Andor series. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to start to take a look at other Star Wars projects. Today, we're exploring a pivotal moment in the Star Wars universe, the version of Darth Vader seen in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Now, forget Reva and even little Princess Leia for a while, at least for this video. This is solely about the man himself, Darth Vader. We've witnessed Vader's power, cruelty, and raw anger before, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi series revealed something deeper. The most evil, sadistic, and brutal Darth Vader we've ever seen on screen. What makes this portrayal of Darth Vader so significant isn't just his ruthless killing spree or brutal duels with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's how the series captures the Vader we've always imagined but never fully seen. The monster whispered about in the darkest corners of the galaxy. This changes everything we thought we knew about Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and even Luke Skywalker's journey in A New Hope. We'll dive deep into every brutal scene and chilling piece of dialogue that cements Darth Vader as the ultimate villain in Star Wars. From the streets of Mapuzo, where he kills indiscriminately, to his final heartbreaking words to Obi-Wan Kenobi. This video will analyze how this series reshaped the legacy of Darth Vader and his relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's dive in. This is the story of how Obi-Wan Kenobi gave us the darkest version of Darth Vader in live-action Star Wars history. But before we go on, I'd like to just take a 20-second break to give you a quick word from our sponsor, the tiny little voice that is me. Yes, I'm the sponsor, and you're all sponsors, so congratulations.
This Star Wars channel is fun. More fun than listening to K-pop for a week straight. Yes, it's even more fun than slapping yourself in the face with a tennis racket. And it's even more fun than stepping in poop barefooted. Human poop. Stepping on Legos? Not even close. By subscribing, you're telling me that you love Star Wars and hate having your hair cut by a podiatrist. Don't be afraid. Subscribe now and have all your Star Wars needs met in one convenient place. Good job. Now go forth and bask in euphoria.
Love that little voice. Do what it says. Anyways, the moment Darth Vader appears on Mapuzo, the tone of the series shifts. We're no longer just watching the hunted Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're witnessing the relentless, horrifying pursuit of one of the most powerful and evil Sith Lords in the galaxy. But what's so striking about this scene is how it gives us Darth Vader we've only ever imagined. In the original trilogy, we hear about his cruelty, his reign of terror across the galaxy, and the fear he inspires. But Obi-Wan Kenobi shows us this fear firsthand. When Vader walks down the streets of Mapuzo, it's a visual representation of the horror he brings with him. With every step, he's not just searching for Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's making a statement. He kills civilians for sport, dragging them out of their homes, snapping their necks with the Force, and torturing anyone unlucky enough to cross his path. What's most unsettling is the randomness of his violence. He's not killing because he needs information or because they're a threat. He's doing it to incite fear. This is the Darth Vader we always imagined, the one who doesn't care if you're innocent, the one who will kill you just to make a point. When he pulls a child out into the street and murders him in front of his family, the series reaches a level of darkness rarely seen in Star Wars. We always knew that Darth Vader was evil, but this is something more. This is a version of Vader who revels in the suffering he causes, who uses fear as a weapon in its purest form. It's no longer about ruling through strength or enforcing the will of the Empire. It's about terrorizing people simply because he can. This isn't about killing younglings off screen because he believed they would become a threat to him and his new empire. But we never saw that, did we? Not until the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We got to witness his murderous side for ourselves on Mapuzo. There was no cutaway to another scene, no subtle dissolve. It was laid out for us to witness. And for Obi-Wan Kenobi, this is devastating. He's been hiding for years, haunted by his failure to save Anakin Skywalker. But seeing what his former apprentice has become is beyond anything he could have imagined. This is the Vader we heard rumors about in the galaxy, the one whose name struck fear into entire systems, the butcher of innocence, the nightmare that Obi-Wan Kenobi now has to face. One of the most anticipated moments in Obi-Wan Kenobi is the rematch between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. But what caught many viewers off guard was how sadistic and personal that confrontation turned out to be. This wasn't just a lightsaber duel. It was an emotional reckoning, especially for Obi-Wan. What makes this encounter stand out isn't just the action, it's the psychological warfare Darth Vader unleashes on his former master. The moment they come face to face, the dynamic between them is starkly different from their last battle on Mustafar. In Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan fought Anakin to save the galaxy to prevent the rise of the Sith. But here, Vader isn't interested in galactic power. He's interested in revenge, and he's not seeking a quick victory. He wants Obi-Wan Kenobi to suffer. Vader's words in this scene cut deeper than any lightsaber. When Obi-Wan Kenobi, horrified at what Anakin has become, asks, "What have you become?" Vader's response is chilling in its simplicity. "I am what you made me." This moment reveals the depth of Vader's hatred. In his mind, Obi-Wan Kenobi is responsible for everything, for his fall to the dark side, for his broken body, for the loss of Padme, and now he's going to make Obi-Wan pay for it. This scene also brings new meaning to Obi-Wan Kenobi's later words to Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. "Darth Vader killed your father." In the past, this line has been interpreted as Obi-Wan simplifying the story for Luke, protecting him from the truth. But after Obi-Wan Kenobi, it takes a whole new level of meaning. In Vader's eyes, Anakin Skywalker is dead. Darth Vader has fully taken his place, and this exchange between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader is the confirmation of that. Vader isn't just a Sith Lord who was once a Jedi. He's completely a different person, a dark, twisted monster that Anakin could never have become without Obi-Wan Kenobi's perceived betrayal. Darth Vader isn't just here to win. He wants to see Obi-Wan Kenobi suffer in ways that mirror his own torment on Mustafar. When he drags Obi-Wan Kenobi through the fire, it's not just a clever callback, it's deeply personal. Vader wants Obi-Wan to experience the pain he endured, to feel the heat of the flames that consumed him. This is cruelty at its peak, the embodiment of everything evil about Darth Vader. His intent isn't simply to defeat Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's to break him, to watch him writhe in agony and fear. The question could be made as to why he didn't kill Obi-Wan right then. It's for this purpose, to hurt him, toy with him. And he saw that Obi-Wan had become broken, that he was no longer the Jedi he once was. This broken man was no challenge for Darth Vader. A final victory against his old Jedi master like this needed to be well earned. Tease him, toy with him, make him reconnect. For years, Star Wars fans have heard about the fear that Darth Vader instills throughout the galaxy. His mere presence sends people into hiding. His name alone inspires dread. But until Obi-Wan Kenobi, much of that was left to our imaginations. Yes, we've seen glimpses, his imposing figure on the Death Star, his ruthless efficiency in battle, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is the first time we've truly seen Vader fully embrace the terror he represents. This version of Darth Vader isn't just an enforcer of the Emperor's will. He's the Emperor's weapon of fear. And it's not just physical brutality that makes him so terrifying. It's his control over the mind. Every step Vader takes, every breath he draws through that iconic respirator is designed to dominate. He controls every interaction, leaving people scrambling to appease him, terrified of his wrath. In many ways, this portrayal of Vader brings him closer to the Vader described in Legends material. Books like Darth Vader, Lords of the Sith, and Lords of the Sith, ironically, paint a picture of a man who uses his connection to the dark side not only to defeat his enemies, but to toy with them, to make them feel helpless. And that's exactly what we see in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Darth Vader doesn't just defeat his opponents, he humiliates them, breaking them physically and mentally before delivering the final blow. For Obi-Wan, this is devastating. He's faced Vader before, but this version of Vader is different. There's no hint of Anakin Skywalker he once knew at all. This is the true face of the dark side, an evil that can't be reasoned with or redeemed. And that's what makes the Obi-Wan Kenobi series so profound. It shows us the Darth Vader we've always imagined, the one who isn't just powerful, but true evil. One of the most profound aspects of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is how it recontextualizes the events of A New Hope. In the original trilogy, Obi-Wan tells Luke that Darth Vader killed his father, Anakin Skywalker. For years, this line has been debated by fans. Was Obi-Wan lying? Was he protecting Luke from the truth? Or was he telling the truth from a certain point of view, as he later claims in Return of the Jedi? After Obi-Wan Kenobi, we see that Obi-Wan's statement wasn't just a clever turn of phrase. It was a reflection of the horrifying truth he had to face in his final confrontation with Vader. When Vader tells Obi-Wan, "Anakin is gone, I am what remains," it's a declaration that the man Obi-Wan once knew is truly dead. In Vader's eyes, Darth Vader did kill Anakin Skywalker. He didn't just turn to the dark side, he destroyed the person he used to be. This makes Obi-Wan's words to Luke even more tragic. He wasn't lying to protect Luke from the truth. He was telling him the truth as he knew it. Anakin Skywalker, the hero of the Clone Wars, was gone, consumed by the dark side and replaced by the terrifying monster that is Darth Vader. For Obi-Wan, accepting this reality was the hardest part. His former friend, his brother, wasn't just lost. He had been annihilated by the very evil that they fought against. And now Vader's declaration that Anakin is gone cements this grim truth. This also reframes our understanding of Obi-Wan Kenobi's motivations in A New Hope. When he tells Luke that Vader killed his father, it's not a lie. It's the only way to make sense of the tragedy that happened on Mustafar and the events following their final duel in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Anakin Skywalker, the man Obi-Wan trained, fought beside, and loved, is truly dead. What remains is a twisted remnant, a dark entity living on in the form of Darth Vader, something Obi-Wan Kenobi believes cannot be saved. This change gives so much more depth to Obi-Wan's reluctance in A New Hope. When Luke first asks about his father, there's a visible sadness and pain in Obi-Wan's eyes. Now, with the context of Obi-Wan Kenobi, we understand why. Obi-Wan isn't just grieving the loss of a friend. He's haunted by the knowledge that he was responsible for the creation of the galaxy's greatest monster. He blames himself for what happened to Anakin, and that weight is crushing. One of the most striking elements of the Darth Vader that we see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is his unwavering hatred for Obi-Wan. But it's not just the typical Sith anger, it's personal, and it all comes down to this line: "I am what you made me." These words have profound implications, not just for the series, but for the entire Star Wars saga. In that moment, Vader's telling Obi-Wan and the audience that everything he's become is the result of Obi-Wan Kenobi's actions on Mustafar. The burns, the physical pain, and the emotional torment all stem from that fateful duel. What makes this so tragic is that Obi-Wan Kenobi truly loved Anakin like a brother, and he thought leaving him on Mustafar was an act of mercy or that Anakin would die. But in Vader's eyes, it was the ultimate betrayal. Obi-Wan not only failed to save him from the dark side, but also left him to die in the most horrific way possible. That trauma, combined with the seductive power of the dark side, twisted Anakin into the creature we see in Obi-Wan Kenobi, a being who blames his entire existence on the very person who tried to save him. This makes Vader's hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi different from his hatred for the Jedi Order or even Emperor Palpatine. And yes, he hates Emperor Palpatine. This is the hatred of a man who feels utterly betrayed by someone he trusted more than anyone. And while the prequels gave us a glimpse of that, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi that truly brings it into sharp focus. Vader doesn't just want to kill Obi-Wan. He wants him to suffer, to feel the pain and the betrayal that he felt on Mustafar. The final confrontation between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is arguably one of the most significant duels in Star Wars history, not just because of the action, but because of what it represents. Maybe other than Duel of the Fates, for instance. This is not just a physical battle, it's a battle for the soul of Anakin Skywalker, and by the extension, the future of the galaxy. Obi-Wan is fighting not only for his survival, but also for the hope that maybe, just maybe, some part of Anakin Skywalker still remains. But as the duel progresses, it becomes clear that Darth Vader is fully in control. The ferocity with which he attacks Obi-Wan Kenobi is unlike anything we've seen before. His blows are powerful, relentless, as if he's channeling all of his anger, hatred, and pain into every stroke. And as the duel reaches its climax, Obi-Wan manages to damage Vader's helmet, revealing part of Anakin's face underneath. This moment is one of the most emotional in the series, not just because it humanizes Vader, but because it shows us just how far gone Anakin Skywalker truly is. Obi-Wan Kenobi, seeing the face of his former friend, tries one last time to reach him. "Anakin," he pleads, but the response is haunting. "Anakin is gone. I am what remains." This line carries immense weight, not just for the characters, but for the entire saga. It's the final nail in the coffin for Anakin Skywalker. This is Darth Vader's declaration that he has fully embraced the dark side, that there is no coming back. For Obi-Wan Kenobi, this is devastating. He's held on to hope for so long, believing that some part of the man he once knew still existed, even though thinking he was dead. But in this moment, that hope is shattered. Anakin Skywalker is truly dead, and what's left is the cold, cruel Darth Vader. But this moment also ties back to the original trilogy. When Luke Skywalker later confronts Darth Vader, he believes there is still good in him, that his father can be saved. And while Luke is ultimately right, Obi-Wan Kenobi shows us why Obi-Wan himself could never have believed that. After hearing Vader say, "Anakin is gone," Obi-Wan accepts that the man he loved is dead, and it's this belief that informs his later actions in A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Now, an argument may be made that their first interaction in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has Darth Vader saying, "I am what you made me," and their final interaction of Darth Vader telling Obi-Wan Kenobi that he himself killed Anakin Skywalker could be seen as a contradiction, but it isn't. In his eyes, Obi-Wan Kenobi was the ultimate betrayal and pushed Darth Vader to rise and kill Anakin Skywalker, making both of those lines true from his point of view. Now, you can hate the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, or you can love it like some others. It's split about 50-50, I think, and that's okay. But the Darth Vader scenes with Obi-Wan Kenobi are what make it so fascinating, and it fixes so many parts of A New Hope for a lot of us. And I hope you see it that way too. If you don't, that's okay as well. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Did you like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, or did you think that Darth Vader was a little too over the top? For me, it was a great depiction of his darkness, and I'd like to see more of that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and break so that tiny little voice can tell you what to do again.
Subscribe now, and know that I will do everything I can to help you get through the trauma of stepping barefoot in human poop. I can't guarantee that I can stop it from happening, but know that I am here for you if you do. I also talk about Star Wars, constantly. Subscribe and like, and let's get this channel over 50,000 subscribers.